everyone, this is Jurgita with Magic Pan Crafts, and today is the 1st of June, which means a new month started. Finally Stitch Mania, Crazy Mania, or for me it was Stitch Whip Mania, has ended, and I can go back to stitching however small amount I want of the whips that I want, or start something without looking at times when I started, which day I started, etc. So you see before you George, giant project that many of us are working on, and I'm going to be using this for this week's magical school homework to stitch on something that you would find on the ship. So what can you not find on the ship that you would find here? A leader, a flag, a sailor with a sailor hat, boats, oars, etc, etc, so many other things. So if we can find these things, then you can stitch 400 stitches only. So this is what I'm gonna be starting. It's a 5th row, and that's all it's left to finish 5th row. It's already done over just tiny bit over 50%, so 50.5 maybe, or something like that. So it's a slow progress, but I'm a tiny bit ahead of a schedule, but still don't wanna slack off, and I'm gonna use this for this George for this week's homework, at least the first part. So next you will see when I'm done with this and grab something else. So we're in Joann's. They're allowing like 20 people at a time, and there's extensive stitching area, but I wanted to show you something. This is diamond painting, and what's new, first thing, is you can create your own diamond painting. All of these are diamond painting colors, and you can get like your own color things. They have a stylus things, everything you want. Tools, adhesive, and these are like a fabric sheets for that, I guess, and like rolls for that. So you can create your own design if you want. That's something amazing. I mean, like for example this, right? All of this is those diamond painting pieces. It's amazing. It has so many colors. Wow. Tikrai labai interesting, right? So, all right, I'm gonna get my own stuff, and I needed some threads. So that's it. And I'm saying hello on a late evening on the 4th of June, and what you see in front of you is a brand new project, brand new whip. Became a whip. I got this to do as a model stitching. Again, like last year I had one designer, so this year it's a different designer, and her name is Yulia Sharanova, and I have some rules sort of like attached to it, that I have to do at least 800 stitches a week, and to post the pictures and stuff like that. I was able to pick my own type of fabric, so this gonna be a 28 count Zweigart even weave, and it's gonna be color light blue. So this is what you see in front of you, and design is 130 by 129, and I worked for 3 days. I was given quarter only, so it's like a top part like here kind of thing, from this part to this part, and I got it all done in 3 days. I finished a quarter of it, so it's I don't know, about 11 hours I think. So no back stitching was given yet, and comparing to the picture, you can see that the hat is almost all done, so you have like a 4th flame cut off, and on the bottom just the tip of a castle you can see. So there are blends, there are pure colors, and tiny bit of like a half stitch. So that's what I've been occupying myself past 3 days. And after this, I'm gonna hit my weekly homework. And this is what I'm gonna be using for my homework part of this week, that I have to stitch 400 stitches of something. I'm ready to be finished. So I had a basket all done before, and I've been working on this little box, and this is what it looks like right now. So not much believe left compared to the picture. There's still going to be some waves, some straight lines to make for those flags connecting, and boardwalk. I guess boardwalk needs to be done in here. So I don't think it's gonna reach 400, but I'm gonna be done with this then and pull out something else. We'll see what I need to do after that. But I'm ready to finish this. Exciting. So this is what it looks like right now, and in a second you'll see what it looks like done. Well, I'm saying hello on the morning of the 5th, and as you can see, the stitching by the sea is still not done. So I just did enough for homework and with a tiny bit more and set aside. So what I needed to do for 100, I've done with a little bit more. So all it did is fill in birds' beaks and wings. Finished one of those boardwalks, and did just over 2 and a tiny bit of groupings of waves. And then I needed to stitch something in pink. I needed 50, so that's about, I think, 56. So that's what it was. And I decided it's still summertime, so I can put it aside. I don't have to finish it quickly. And since it's Friday, I wanted to do some more homework parts, and I'll show you what I grabbed. And I grabbed this. It's a Brooks Books Stitchers Alphabet, and if you're interested, it's free on the Brooks Books website in freebies. So this is what it looks like right now. I'm on the letter H, and I picked this to stitch with the color green, and I need 50 stitches at least done. So I figured 471 is gonna be in some of them, like those border parts and scattered throughout. So hopefully I can make it to 50 stitches, and then will be one more color, which I think is a purple. So I'll have to see if this one has a purple color somewhere. But that's what it looks like right now before I'm starting to stitch this. I don't think today is gonna be a lot of stitchy, because we're gonna try to give bath to our dog for the first time in our home, at least. So we'll see how he's gonna react, and we'll do some other stuff with the family. So I might stay up late again to finish some things, but this is what it's starting like. And I added some greens and actually added some purples. So all of this week's homework done, and I made it in time. So I have 2 free days, so to speak, to stitch on anything I want. So I'm going to be setting this aside. So I would imagine this is a hare or bunny or rabbit, one of those names. So it's slowly filling in. But what I decided I'm gonna be grabbing is this work. It's What's This by Arden Ellen Nixon, Heaven and Earth Designs pattern. So as you know, I've started this new after a long time of not being able to work on it because I don't think it was calling to me, that fabric. So I want to show you what I'm going to be starting from this time. So as you can see, if you don't remember, this time I've decided to start from the middle, so marked my middle of the paper of the fabric, and just started going this. So his eye and going into a nose, and there is the mouth. But my son, whom I'm making this, at first thought that it was a bird, and actually, when you look at it, I cannot unsee, as you say, you know, like if you're looking sideways, so there's like a head with a giant eye, the body with, you know, there's no wings still seen, you know, but, and then like a legs or something. So when you look like a sideways, it does look like there's a big, you know, head and a beak here. So I cannot unsee this now, but this is where I'm going to be starting, and slowly I'll be working, and maybe then above a nose it's going to be that crazy sky, which where I'm started in beginning. I started in the corner, so all I've seen is like a snow and a sky. So this is eye and a nose and legs here. So I might fill in this and then maybe go touch a bit of a sky. We'll see. I'll be working on this slowly, so I don't think I can finish it anyway by the end of the year, so I'm not gonna rip myself apart stitching just this constantly for all those months. So it's almost like 88,000 stitches left, I think. Anyway, this is where beginning of the sprint, and then we'll see how it goes afterwards. Saying hello, good morning on the 8th of June, and it's in a row 4th day I've been working on this lion, and the 7th day overall total that I've been just started working on it, and it's 8.22% done. And I'm telling you, it's so hard to get away from it. Even though it looks like tedious, bunch of different colors just going everywhere, but it helps that I have something to slightly distract me, like watching YouTube, which partially is making it work slower, but I just work kind of mindlessly, so to speak, on all those parts. And after I took a picture from further away, only then I noticed, okay, so there are like a dots going on where his whiskers probably would be. So my goal is, I think I might stop today and then grab something else, but I'm trying to work full day instead of like doing 3 different things to stitch on. And now you can kind of more see this part with the nose and the whiskers happening, and some crying already should be on this part. And I really like having the tape on the side to kind of look exact the numbers, so it's practically one only cross in the whole thing, you know, those like almost 8,000 stitches that I put in the first stitch wrongly. And right away I noticed, because it's very easy to follow the guidelines with the numbers, and then I look like, you know, okay, so I stitched, there's gonna be already full stitch line, so on the bottom of next to it is gonna be next stitch. So that's what I'm gonna work. So my goal is to kind of fill in this part, and then as you see I already sort of started the background a little bit, not those colors, because they were like few stitches in his face or snout, I don't know what you say on the lines. So that's how it's working, and I love it. I'm so glad I restarted this on a bigger size. It's easier to see, of course, but also main character is nice to see growing instead of just the sky and the dots. So this is what it looks like on the beginning of the 7th day of stitching it, and it's hard to put down. It is noon on the 9th, and I'm sitting down for a tiny bit of stitching to do. So this is what I've done yesterday. I did not make to 9,000 stitches point, but that's okay. And it's probably hard to tell, but there is some sparkle happening here. You could kind of see a little bit in there. So I was pretty much all filled in this part of his face. Went even a little bit around this because I did not want to right now to move like all of my markings off. So kind of just started to fill it in, and it was time to go to bed. And today I actually have to set this aside and work on something that you'll see in a second. And it's Hogwarts Secrets. So I've showed you previously that I've done like this, and it was slightly weird, all those light colors that just pop in. So I sent this to the designer, and I said it looks slightly different than in the picture what she figured out. So she was horrified, looked at it, reworked a little bit. They're supposed to be just in two colors, so it's going to be some kind of blend. So I need to look up. She sent me a new portion of like this hat that she redone. So I have to look and take out what needs to be taken out. So it's going to be a little bit harder because it's like in the program it's totally different piece. So I took a screenshot of an old one with all the symbols, and I put it on my computer so I can kind of compare, and then need to rip out because we're supposed to show the project progress once a week with the pictures under the album where all designers put in their projects. So it's already 9, so I'm a little bit behind, so I need to rip this out and figure out what I need to change. So this is what's going to be concentrating on, and I believe I have other part that's going to be this side too. So need to get cracking on this. So it's like 4:30, and I finally, I think, ripped out everything that needed to be ripped out. And according to program's calculations, it might be like 323 stitches ripped out. It doesn't look like it a lot, right? There's tail in here, inside, and side goes, and all the way like here and here. So I think I got it all that I needed to be pulled out. I think even a couple extra that not needed got hooked, so I had to pull her out a couple extra stitches to tuck the tail underneath. But I'm restarting, and hopefully this time will be much better. Wish me luck. Good morning on the 11th of June, and I finished actually my top part of this Hogwarts Secrets. So I was given only top half this time, and this is what it looks like right now. So after I took some of the colors, a couple of colors out with the designer, she redid some, I put it in, and then I continued with the right side of this globe, some kind of snow globe, and I finished the whole thing. Worked and worked and worked. Of course, it's still without the backstitch. I think I'll get the backstitch pattern on part only after I finish all the stitching. So this top part, I think, doesn't have a lot comparatively. When you see what this bottom part looks like, what is gonna have to do, and like, you know, the top part is just the tips of the towers, so the whole thing is gonna take longer on the bottom part. So I might be doing a little bit slower in that time, but I used this for number 1 and 2 of this week's homework. And after I turn in the pictures, I'll show you what I'm gonna be using for number 3 and 4. And for number 3 and 4, you see the blank spot, and kind of peeking underneath is, I believe, May little dragon. I don't have a picture of a pattern. We're given like a overall picture of all 3 summer dragons, so I either will insert the picture here what they all gonna look like, and I'm gonna be doing June, which is bottom right, and that's my starting point. So I'm starting from scratch, and it's already June 11th, and I'd like to finish it in 10 days if it's possible, hopefully, because I have some something planned starting like 20th. So yep, I need to get cracking with this. And I believe these are the colors that gonna be used. I had 2 different sets of color things, so I believe this is the one that I put it together. I'll have to compare by the threads in here, but I think that's the color palette for the June dragon. So I'm gonna start. Good afternoon on the 14th of June, and as you can see, my dragon is fully recognizable, I think, even with the bubbles flying out. So it's still not fully done. It's about 72% without all the backstitching. So this is what I've been working on, and will try as long as I can, at least to finish all the main stitching, and then I'll get the back stitching. But it's fun to stitch. It's you know, fully recognizable and cute. Dragon is practically fully done. There is still a little eye left to put in the half stitch and to fill in all the parts, and there's some of the full stitches left, but this is what it looks like right now. Hello on the 17th morning. So as you can see, in the past few days I worked actually on a couple items. So one whip is all the stitching, main stitching at least, is done. So every space was filled in either with the half stitch, with one, or with the 2 stitches, blends, etc. And even you can kind of see like some of the French knots that were included. So I got a backstitch pattern for this, and I have 13 days to finish it. So I'm sure I can do that. There's still quite a bit of the backstitching, but it's going to be like only 2 colors to do, so it's not going to be bad. But also, after I finished this, I worked on Secrets of Hogwarts, or Hogwarts Secrets, and I'll show you how much I've done. I kind of worked till late last night, so the whole top portion is done, and where you can see from here on, so it's over 1,500 total stitches, is already finished too. So it's very exciting, since I was getting like a quarter of the pattern at the time. At the end, there's also going to be back stitching too done, so it's all those flames going to be more pronounced, and there's going to be some like wiggles, because this, you probably can already tell it's going to be a book. And this is, you can see it's a wand. Also will have a back stitching. So there's still the whole Hogwarts castle gonna be here somewhere. So I have to do a minimum of 800 stitches a week, and already practically doubled for this week. So I don't feel too bad setting this one aside and grabbing something else. And I used this for a portion of this week's homework, which needed 400, I believe, stitches. And I'll show you what I'm gonna be grabbing next, and you really know what it looks like. Ta-da! Can you tell what it is? Do you remember, guys? Remember my George part? So kind of very eager, like all of my whips, I'm very eager to go towards the finish faster to kind of finish at least this row, you know, but then another project calls me and then I want to work on that one more. So I'm gonna try this month, which is gonna be next video. I think I'm gonna do like a vlogging of one only work for about 10 days. Like a weekend will be done probably again, used for George or something. And before I kick that project in, I'll have to finish backstitching on the little dragon. So anyway, this is what the George looks like, and I need to use this for this week's homework. So I'm hoping to finish at least one column. So it's almost 600, if I remember correctly, stitches, one column. So with all those extensions sort of in other columns. But this is what the row looks like, and I in some places already was pulling out extra like a markings stitching, so it would be loose and some not. So this is what is gonna be my next work. We'll see how much I'll be done before the next tune in. And I'm saying good morning on early morning on the 20th, and that's my last clip for this part of a group of videos. So you can see I went a little bit more than just a column in this, and filled in, I don't know, almost 2 columns, I think, at least. So still excited. Might do tiny bit slowly over the next rest of what is June. Rest of June, possibly, not sure yet. Depends which whip is gonna be screaming the most or something like that. But anyway, this is how much it's left till the end of the row. But I also worked on something else, so I'll show you. Ta-da! I picked up for one day. This is Heaven and Earth Designs. What's this called? So I worked maybe like 3 total hours, and what I did is just started filling in, like there's some cryonic and sparkles in here, and started filling in the side. I moved from a Q-snap into this Omanic frames, so it's all good and ready to go. I also made sort of like attached fabric for these, so this could be unraveled, sort of speak, a little bit taller, and I did on both sides, so it's like a pocket for the rods. And I'll be working on this in the next video more, but since I have it all opened up more, I decided to start going at like a background picture, which is gonna be instead of the main character, because there's gonna be lots of background, and just this area is gonna be the lion's head. So just watch some YouTube, and we're filling this stuff in. So that's what I worked for one day, but wait, there is more. So I'll show you also what else I worked on. Ta-da-da-da! And my June dragon is all done and all in good time. Still need to kind of make it for the picture photo session for this to show the designer that I finished it. And it was only one color, all of backstitching that I needed to do, so it was with 1 or 2 threads. So in some places you can see where it becomes as a 2, but backstitching, or as we call it, BS, is really making a picture pop out, and you can tell what is what, because without it, it would be hard to tell what that thing was, etc. But it's such a summary look for this guy. So I have, we started in April, so April, May, and June. Dragon ornaments. Right now I'm just leaving on this fabric, which is 32 count antique white Lugana. I think at least think it's a Lugana. But anyway, so I have to take a picture and send it to designers so I could get July's dragon main stitching part sent to me. So that's what I'm gonna leave you with. Very happy, very excited. I finally finished this guy, and in time. Still need to figure out how to do the picture, but that's for me to figure out. So I hope you enjoyed this video of mine, and don't be shy to leave a comment what you like the most, what maybe you have advice, suggestions, or maybe guesses what other projects I'm gonna pick up from my whip list, or what's gonna be finished next, or something like that. And I'm gonna see you hopefully in the next video. Until the next time, stay healthy, stay cool if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and till next time, bye bye.